Hi, this is Alex, Maple Leaf Coffee Roasters in Roselle. I'm here today to talk about a brand new single origin light roast coffee from Brazil. Check it out. So from time to time, we buy some coffees that are a little bit different than the kind of things that we normally do. And this is definitely one of those that fits into that category. We just picked up a bunch of coffees from our friends at Falcon Coffee. We've ordered some stuff from them in the past, mostly African coffee origins, but we've actually picked up a couple different non-African coffees in our last purchasing round. And when we saw a set of Brazilian coffees on their lists, and we had an open slot on our light roast part of the shelf, we were really interested in trying to find something that would fit for that use case and something that we could just kind of surprise people with a little bit too. So just to take a step back a little bit and talk about Brazilian coffee in general. Generally speaking, we use a lot of Brazilian coffee here at Maple Leaf for our blends. This is the type of coffee that we will roast dark just to add kind of a coffee flavor to it. Brazilian coffee, generally speaking, is going to be a natural process coffee. That's most of the kind of coffee that they produce. Very clean, consistent, easy to roast. Generally speaking, the flavor that we get out of the Brazilian blender coffees that we're bringing in just kind of adds like a coffee flavor to a lot of our blends by design. And especially the way that we roast it as a dark roast, it is something that tries to diminish the original characteristics of the coffee itself. And whenever we do get a chance to try something as a different roast level that we also kind of use for some of our blends, it is an exciting opportunity for us here at Maple Leaf because we get to kind of try it out, get that experience, and then maybe kind of put it in our brains to try out next time. We've done this with coffees from Colombia and Nicaragua as well. A couple of years ago, I had a really fun light roast Nicaraguan coffee that had a really cool watermelon tint to it. And so for that reason, I'm excited for folks to give this coffee a shot as a light roast. And I think this will be able to potentially pick up a lot of non-light roast drinkers. So just some basics on the coffee itself. This is the Rio Brilhante. It is a kind of smaller sized bean. So in terms of screen sizes, they usually measure in 64ths of an inch size. So a lot of times the bigger screen of coffee from Brazil is a 17-18 screen, meaning it's 17 to 18 64ths of an inch. This one happens to be on the 16 size. So the beans are a little bit smaller. You'll be able to kind of see that in the picture up next to this video of the beans themselves. As I said, natural process coffee. So when you're looking at this coffee and you're about to put it into a blender, you'll notice some variation in size, shape, and color of the beans. That's just really to be expected based on the type of processing method. As a light roast, the fun part about Brazilian coffees is that they tend to drink a little bit larger than you would normally expect out of a light roast coffee. So a lot of times light roast coffees, they will have a little bit of a thinner finish to them, something that is more like a tea-like consistency than anything else. The nice alternative for a lot of Central American coffees will bring to the table for a light roast is that they will have a bigger body than something that you might see out of somewhere like an African coffee origin itself. So let's talk a little bit about the flavor profile in this coffee. This is a really fun coffee, and I love it when I get a chance to not only try something on a different roast level than what we normally do with our coffee, but also something that has a very unique and exotic set of flavor combinations in it. Natural processed coffees tend to lend themselves to that kind of combination, and this one is no exception. Right off the gate, when you open this bag up and you put the grinds or the beans up to your nose, you're going to kind of detect like a peanut sort of sensibility. I'm not going to say it's kind of like smelling a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it's in some ways it kind of takes you back a little bit to that feeling of making yourself that kind of sandwich and like putting it up to your nose when you're about to take a bite. Very nice kind of medium body to the smell overall. It is something that will stay in your palate when you take a sniff or when you take a sip. Fun kind of molasses sort of feel to it as well. There is that kind of maltier texture as you swallow, which is really quite pleasant. A tiny bit of a bittersweet chocolate, a very, very, very subtle amount of kind of like a smoky sort of feel. And probably my favorite element of this coffee is that it does have a subtle but obvious peach note. This isn't one of those kinds of fruit-forward coffees where you're going to get just an aroma right in your face and a really strong taste of a fruit-forward coffee. But there is that kind of tropical fruit, stone fruit, peach kind of flavor to it that you will notice in the background. It'll kind of sneak up on you a little bit. And I think that that's going to be something really fun for people to try. As far as who would like this kind of coffee, as I mentioned earlier, I think if you're a person that likes a light roast coffee, likes a natural processed coffee, this one's going to be right up the alley for you. if you are someone that normally sticks in the medium roast territory, or maybe even the dark roast, and you want to try something a little bit off of your normal path, this will be a really great choice because of the exotic flavors, but also the bigger body to it that you will see because of that Brazilian origin on this coffee. So this is a coffee that we got a small amount of. We got about 3 bags in these Brazilian bags. Are on the smaller end of things. They're 59 kilogram as opposed to the 69 or 70 that we see from most other origins. So this is something that we'll have, it's only in a seasonal product. I'm hoping that if this does well enough, maybe in future years we'll be able to find a way to bring it back again. But until next time, make sure to keep up with our YouTube channel, see all the new videos that we're putting out for the new coffees, and I hope to catch you next time for another new coffee video. Take care.